Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Lancaster Archery. Outdoors today on this beautiful October afternoon, we wanted to tell you about the Bowtech SS34. Brand new flagship hunting bow from the folks at Bowtech for 2023. This thing, 34 inches axle to axle, that's the sweet spot for me. I love bows that are this length, and this thing just shoots like a dream. Draws nice, holds nice, shoots nice. It's nice after the shot. Just does everything that you want a compound bow like this to do. We'll tell you all about the SS34 in a second, but first, let's give you the specs. The Bowtech SS34 measures 34 inches axle to axle. It's got an IBO speed rating of 331 feet per second. The brace height is going to be 6 3/4 inches. Draw length range on a rotating mod is going to be from 26 to 31.5 inches. The bow is going to weigh 4.7 pounds. Let off is going to be 85% in performance mode, 88% in comfort mode, and it's going to be available in peak draw weights of 50, 60, 70 pounds. All right, the Bowtech SS34. First off, before we get into this bow, I wanted to tell you, so I did set up this bow and I shot it, I got it tuned. This bow came in several days ago, so I got to spend time with it. We knew we were gonna film today, and yesterday I went out like an idiot and fell on a hike and injured my wrist. So, you're gonna see, for the video purposes, you're gonna see Ethan King shooting, one of our bow techs at Lancaster Archery, who's very knowledgeable about bows. So that's why you're seeing him shooting it, and at the end, we're gonna bring him in, get his thoughts on the bow as well. But what are we looking at for the SS34? We've got these nice wide limbs up top, got a wide limb pocket. We've got this big cam that Bowtech has. That's what helps generate some of the speeds. You know, 331 feet per second is the speed rating for this bow. It does spit them out there real fast. What I like even more, however, is how it holds at full draw. This thing, you know, I just had a simple stabilizer on there, 10-inch bar with 4 ounces, and it just held on target nicely. But I'm sure a lot of that is because of the design up top here. And in this cam, we see a lot of the technologies that Bowtech has really become known for the last couple years. First off, we start out with this rotating module. So this is the mod you're going to change when you want to adjust the draw length. However, it's dual-sided. Bowtech calls this a flip disc. I've got it on the comfort mode, so this is going to be the side where I have 88% let off. The draw cycle is going to be the smoothest. If I flip it over, I'm going to go to the performance side. Now my let off drops down to 85%, and the draw cycle is a little bit aggressive. That's where you're going to get your higher speeds. But just options for you. It allows you to shoot this bow in multiple different configurations. You know, you get a compound bow, you want to be able to do lots of different things with it. Maybe you have different types of hunts that you're going to do. This allows you to adjust this bow for different hunting situations. Spot and stalk versus in a tree stand or ground blind. The more ways that you can adjust a bow, the more you can customize it to the different things that you want to do. And one of the greatest features Bowtech has come known for the last couple years is this DeadLock Cam System. So this is a binary cam, and when you're tuning, you know, you're going to do paper tuning. You can do a little bit with adjusting your rest. You know, I set this to 13/16, the center of the arrow from the riser. That's kind of industry standards. And then when you're paper tuning, you can adjust that a little bit. But where you're really going to clean up left and right paper tears is with the cam. Well, with a binary cam system, you know, on a lot of other bows, that's going to involve shims in here, moving shims around. Bowtech came out with this DeadLock, ingenious system. So right here, I have a set screw. This is my locking screw. Let's say I needed to clean up a tear. I would loosen this lock screw and then come down underneath, and I would turn that Allen screw clockwise or counterclockwise. And what that's going to do is, as I turn that Allen key, it's going to move the cam left or it's going to move it to the right. It's on like a drive system or a gear. as I turn the Allen key, the cam moves. It's not like you loosen it and the cam slides. It actually moves because of the design of the axle that it's sitting on. You can do that right on the line. You don't need a bow press. You're paper tuning. You take a shot through paper, make an adjustment to the cam, take another shot. If it fixes things and you get it to where you want it, you get that perfect bullet hole, just lock down that screw and now this is not going to move. So again, ingenious design there from Bowtech. Kudos to them. We're seeing that on all their top-end Bowtech bows these days. Now, also as part of the DeadLock system, we have the DeadLock pocket. So one of the fears that you have as a bow hunter is that something shifts in your limbs. Either the limbs shift or the pocket shifts. Something moves after you get it set up. Now you're going to change the performance of the bow. We don't want that. So what Bowtech has here is we've got these screws on either side of the limbs. With those clamped down in place, I'm connecting the limbs to the pocket. Now I come over this side. Let's say I want to make an adjustment in the draw weight. I would loosen this lock screw right here and then of course come up to the limb bolt. Say I want to reduce the poundage, you know, I'm going to turn counterclockwise, letting the pockets out. Once I get it set, I come back here and lock this down. Now, as we mentioned, the limbs are locked to the pocket. This lock here locks the pocket, you can see right here, locks the pocket to the riser. Now nothing can move once everything is locked in place. So coming down the riser, first let's take a look at the shape of that riser. It's largely vertical. You know, you're gonna have a little bit of reflex back, but it's largely vertical, which helps with that stability. You know, we've got a 6 3/4 inch brace height. That's still under 7 inches, so that's still gonna generate a lot of speed. But by having a little bit more vertical riser, that helps this bow hold super steady, which that's one of the first things I noticed was just how well this bow held. And then coming down to the shelf, you're gonna see two holes here, two burger holes. You can see for my arrow rest. So if I mount a traditional arrow rest with an arm and I've got room in the arm, I can put 2 bolts in there. Now my rest isn't gonna move. Or Bowtech has machined into the riser here a dovetail so that I can shoot one of the integrate style rests. I have a QAD integrate rest on here now. That eliminates those bolts, eliminates the arm, so there's a little bit of weight savings there, but also it just gets everything streamlined. That's kind of the trend these days we're seeing in bows. Get everything in line with the riser. Now coming down to the grip, this is Bowtech's clutch grip, as they call it. It's a great comfortable angle. This is how it comes from the factory. You know, it's a nice thin grip on the sides there, gently rolling sides. It's great for getting your hand in the right position there. You know, it's not going to roll over too bad. You can get your hand in the right position based off of this. However, if you like a little bit different angle, let's say you want some more heel down here, with the clutch grip, you can just pop off this black piece and put another one on with a different grip angle, get it customized the way you want it. Now, something that you're gonna see on this bow, you're gonna see I've got these little devices down here. These are called Orbit Dampeners. I've got one on this side and one on this side. Bowtech gives you lots of threaded holes all over this bow where you can put those Orbit Dampeners. If there's some place you want to kill some vibration, I've got them up top, got them in the center of the riser here. You can add a bunch of them to all these holes or move them around, play with them in different positions to see how that affects the vibration. They're great at killing vibration, however. But down here at the bottom, you know, I've got one of these holes that could be for an Orbit Dampener, or this is going to be your mounting hole for a rear stabilizer. If you want to run a stabilizer off the back, you have your side rod connection, that's where it's going to go. Of course, you got your standard bushing up front for the stabilizer. You can also run your side rod connection here. But if you like to get that weight down low on the bow, this is going to be where you're going to connect it. Another piece of the DeadLock system The goal here with Bowtech is to have everything. We don't want anything to move. Once we get it set where we want it to all stay where it's supposed to stay. So right here, we've got the Bowtech's cable roller. So your cables go through these rollers right here. That allows for a nice smooth draw cycle. But something that these cable rollers can be known for is sometimes those cables can pop out. If you hit this in the woods, you're out on a hunt somewhere, you hit it and it pops out, of course that's bad. You can put it back in, but if you don't notice it until the last minute, you know, having it not come out is better than having it come out. So what Bowtech did is they added this little bracket on the back of the cables here that prevents them from coming out. They can't pop out of those rollers. All right, shooting the SS34. As I mentioned, 34 inches axle to axle. For me, that's the sweet spot. I love that size of bow for shooting. Just because it holds nice, it draws nice, the string angle's nice, it feels comfortable at full draw. This bow just shot exactly how I thought it would. Very little vibration, you know, almost nothing at the shot. And it just shot super comfortably and super accurately. But as I mentioned yesterday, injured my wrist. So we had to bring in Ethan King at the last minute to shoot this bow. Ethan's one of our bow techs, very knowledgeable about bows. And Ethan, I think we agreed that this thing is a super nice shooting bow.
Yeah, so out of all the bows that I had the opportunity to shoot today, it was definitely my favorite. Having the straight riser where the grip isn't super far behind the front of the limb pocket, and it being the long axle to axle at our draw lengths, for me, it just fits my shooting style better.
Right.
And I think out of the 2023 Bowtech line, it would be my favorite and the one that I would go to. With the flip disc technology and all the DeadLock features with the axles, it's super customizable. You can tune it very easy. And for me out here shooting today, even though you set it up for you, it was your pea pot, it was your draw length, because I got the text this morning to come out here and shoot them. So it wasn't really set up for me, but it was close enough that I was comfortable in shooting it. And after I got it sighted in for me, I was able to consistently group with it. And yeah, overall, I really like this bow. I think for maybe the longer draw archers that want to bow hunt, they would be able to take this bow and still be comfortable with that string angle. Right. And maybe even some of the ladies that want a good 3D bow, I think it would be good for that as well, because it's going to be that longer axle to axle with the speed that they would need to achieve, you know, some of the 3D.
Right. We shot it in the comfort mode, so we did have that super high let off. You know, for bow hunters, that I think that's probably what they're going to choose if they have to stay at full draw longer. But as you mentioned, yeah, if somebody wanted to use this for 3D, flip that over to the performance side. Now you're going to get a little extra speed, a little more holding weight because you're reducing that let off, yeah, which we like as target archers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when companies come out with the longer axle to axle hunting bows, that's more what they're geared towards, someone that can go hunt with it, and then if their club's shooting a local 3D, they can go shoot the 3D too, and it's going to be just as accurate, yeah, as anything else. And with the flip disc technology, that is nice because you can put it on comfort and go hunt, or you can put it on performance and get that little bit more holding weight, so in the wind it's going to be a little bit more stable and maybe possibly get a little bit more solid backwall.
All right, that is the Bowtech SS34. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications whenever we put out new videos. As always, if you have any questions, you can visit us at LancasterArchery.com.